Hey guys, Nick from NCA here, coming to you with another video. This is kind of a follow-up to a previous video we did talking a little bit about hand position. And today we're going to go into just a brief explanation of one of the key elements of that hand position, which is why it is that we want to have our hands so high on the gun. We talked about the fact that we want to position our strong hand, really both hands, but more notably our strong hand, high into the tang or beaver tail of the gun, getting it as high as possible, close to the slide as possible, close to the axis of the bore. And the reason we want to do that, obviously, when we look at a semi-automatic pistol and how it functions, obviously this slide reciprocates back and forth as the gun fires, as it cycles. And when that reciprocates back and forth, we have this mass that's moving on top of our hand, and as it comes to the rear, we experience muzzle flip. And so when we drive our hand high into the tang of that gun and get it as close to the slide as we possibly can, we're now minimizing the amount of leverage that that reciprocating mass has over our hand. Therefore, it just makes it a little bit easier for us to keep the gun a little bit flatter and actually reduce the muzzle flip, as opposed to if our hand was very low, whether because I just pick it up and it is low in relation to my hand because I didn't get a good grip, or maybe even because of just the design of the gun. Some guns out there are designed and there's a buildup of material back here in the frame, and just the way that the slide mates up to the frame of the gun, you might only be able to get your hand so high in relation to that gun. I might have to work a little bit harder, set a little more tension in my wrist and other places to keep the gun a little bit more flat. So, very important factor to understand in keeping our hands as high as possible in relation to the axis of the bore to minimize that muzzle flip.